Your voice, your vote. The remaining two Democratic candidates in the primary race for U.S. Senate in Michigan faced off in a debate earlier tonight in Grand Rapids. 13 on your side, Stephen Bonner joins us now with some of the key topics in the debate.
Well, Lauren, Michiganders got to hear both candidates' takes on things like affordability, data centers, and how each feel they would fare against a Republican opponent in November.
With absentee ballots already in the hands of voters, this could be one of U.S. Representative Haley Stevens and Dr. Abdul El-Sayed's final chances to reach this large of an audience of voters in Michigan in one night. The debate opened with questions of tackling affordability and bringing down prices, a kitchen table issue that many Michiganders are facing firsthand.
I will run through anyone and anything to lower costs. My no tariff on groceries bill. My bill to lower your utility bill.
Do we need to stand up to the monopolies and oligopolies that are picking our pockets? Number three, we need to stand up to increase wages.
El-Sayed and Stevens stayed consistent with some of their main talking points throughout the evening, Stevens pointing to her track record in Congress and El-Sayed hitting Medicare for all hard throughout the evening.
We need to make Medicare fully sustainable by extending it to everybody. Medicare for all would do exactly that.
Look, I've got the receipts. I have passed big pieces of legislation. I passed my first bill to secure STEM grants for our K through 12 schools in my first year in Congress.
But it only took a few minutes for the tone to be set, with both candidates bringing up pain points for their opponents. El-Sayed turning to corporate and foreign PAC money, funding Stevens' campaign.
You've probably seen ad after ad after ad. Not one of those ads was brought to you by the Congresswoman's campaign. All of them brought to you by corporate PACs and APAC, trying to buy a politician who's going to do their bidding instead of yours.
And Stevens pointing to El-Sayed's electability if he were to face their Republican opponent in the general election.
Abdul, I would say no one is afraid of you. And in fact, the GOP is spending thousands of dollars to prop up your campaign because they think they will make it easier for Mike Rogers to win if you are the nominee. I do not plan to make anything easier for Republicans or Mike Rogers.
But despite this, both candidates were able to find some common ground on issues like proposed data centers in Michigan communities.
It's going to meet the following terms: all union labor, no raising our utility rates, increasing our utility reliability, not touching our water.
I want to force these data centers to pay the utility bills and to pay water bills for folks.
The two also shared similar views on immigration enforcement.
ICE agents from top to bottom that have committed crimes have to be held accountable.
I've been clear that you can't reform ICE, you can't retrain ICE, you have to abolish ICE.
But at the end of the day, for Democrats, winning this all-important Senate seat is crucial this November. So we asked both candidates to talk more about how they see the matchup against Mike Rogers in November.
Look at his biggest weaknesses. The guy spent his time in Congress raising prescription drug prices and helping to architect an opioid epidemic. I'm a guy who's a doctor who rebuilt the health department in America's poorest city, helped to eliminate medical debt, put glasses on kids' faces, and put Narcan in 100 locations across Wayne County. I beat him where he's weak.
People jumping ship on MAGA left and right were lied to repeatedly on the campaign trail. And look, I will eat Mike Rogers breakfast and lunch on economic issues. I will run circles around him, talking and defending and protecting our manufacturing sector and standing up for our freedoms and our democracy.
It's less than a month until we learn which of these candidates will emerge from the August 4th primary to face Republican candidate Mike Rogers in this key Senate race. Lauren?